Welcome to this special presentation on NDTV. Now tomorrow, the 25th of August at 8 p.m., NDTV is going to show a documentary. It's called Inside the OTP Mafia, Nuh To New York. It has taken a great amount of perseverance and effort to produce this documentary. We are showing this documentary to some lawmakers as well as law enforcement officers, even members who are, or people who are part of the decision-making process, who are experiencing the menace of cyber fraudsters. This is a one-of-a-kind documentary. You have not seen anything like this ever on Indian television. And I have with me the team which put it all together. Saurabh Shukla, the reporter who spent, 2 months? 2 to 3 months?
Almost 2 months.
Almost 2 months on this documentary. The producer of this documentary, Mayanka Kapoor, who is going to tell us or give us insights on how this documentary was made from an editing point of view, what was her decision, crucial decision making on what to keep and what to leave out. And of course, Ashwini Mehra, who shot all of this on camera, some extremely challenging shoots over a period of 2 months. And the reason why it became a challenge for you. We're going to talk about all of this. But Saurabh, let's begin with you first. The idea behind doing something like this.
The idea behind something like this, to do something like this, is to tell people that what is happening and how this cyber scam is the biggest scam which is underway in India, and every day more than 20,000 people are being scammed. And with no responsibility, these scammers are at large. And it is happening with you, me, our father, our sister, everyone. Every day we receive call कि सर आपने क्या क्रेडिट कार्ड आपका इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, क्या आप उसको बंद करवाना चाहते हैं, सर क्या आप कोई पुरानी गाड़ी यूज कर रहे हैं, सर हम आपको बहुत अच्छा ऑफर दे रहे हैं, हम आपको पर्सनल लोन ऑफर कर रहे हैं, आपके एग्जिस्टिंग लोन पर आपको कैश लोन टॉप अप कर रहे हैं, सर अभी आपने अमेजोन से शॉपिंग की है, सर आप क्या कोई जॉब चाहते हैं करना. एंड दे हैव लाइक मोर देन 1000 मॉडस ऑपरेंडीज, दे हैव 1000 ways to scam you. They study human psychology, human behavior, and then they dupe you. And in most of the cases, people don't realize that they are being scammed. They trust them so much, and when later they lose their money, and then after 24 hours or 48 hours they realize that, oh, I was scammed. So this is the idea, and I think it is the biggest problem in our country and in abroad. So that is the idea, to get the truth and reality behind from behind to the front. That's how people are being duped. Who are these victims and these scammers? Their psychology, how these illiterate people, they read a script and they're duping Americans, and they don't know English at all. They've just learnt a script and the accent. Internet is free in India. You can learn anything, whatever you want to learn from YouTube, and they are duping Americans hundreds of millions of dollars every day. So that is why we wanted to make this documentary.
I think it will be safe to assume, Saurabh, that this is a documentary that will impact people directly. All people, in fact, because everybody is affected by something.
Whosoever is using phone and internet is affected, impacted, especially elderlies, the women, housewives, our mothers, our aunties, our masis, everyone, the auto walas, the rickshaw walas, even chai walas, everybody. And the scale is, if you have 500 rupee in your pocket, they'll try and get that 500 rupee out of you. If you have 50,000, 50 lakh, 50 crore, they have different modus operandi for people who have, with according to their financial background. So then they dupe you. They'll call you and they'll tell you ki you are looking for a job. Are you unemployed? Yes. Okay. So we have an offer for you. You can earn 5,000 rupees every day from your home. Okay, you are like, okay, I can do it. Yes, you can do it. You have to give only 1 hour. What I have to do? You have to pack pencils. Okay, I am interested, and we are from Nataraj Pencils, and we will give you some delivery, and for that you need to give us 500 rupees, and that is the delivery charge you will pay us, and we are sending you a link, and they'll pay you 100 rupees in advance. You'll get 100 rupees, and then you'll believe them that yes, yeah, I got 100 rupees. So you have to pay.
So they win your confidence and then dupe you.
Definitely.
Okay, and the one thing that I figured after speaking to this team is that you may have noticed what Saurabh, Mayanka and Ashwini tried to do sounds a lot like this OTT series called Jamtara. So while Jamtara was fictitious or it was fiction. This is for real. Ashwini, I want to come to you now. From a cameraman's point of view, capturing all of this on lens, how difficult was it?
वैसे हम लोग जिस तरह से न्यूज़ तो बहुत सारी करते हैं, बट मेरे लिए जैसे सौरभ ने ये बात करी, अब लोगों को ठगा जा रहा है इतने पैसे, तो मेरे लिए बड़ी नई चीज़ थी. और जब हम लोगों से मिले भी, एक ऑटो वाले से मिला, उसने बोला कि मेरे 60,000 निकाल लिए. और वो इतना परेशान था वो इंसान कि मेरे बच्चों की फ़ीस सब कुछ ले गए हैं. तो उसी हिसाब से दूसरा केस था जिसके 1.5 लाख रुपए भी निकाले. वो अंकल थे 60 इयर्स के, तो परेशान थे. मेरे लिए बड़ी नई चीज़ थी ये सब शूट करना. और लोगों की परेशानियां तो हमेशा से देखते हैं, बट इस तरह से सोचा भी नहीं था कि लोग ठगे जाते हैं. तो वो था मैं मतलब और दूसरे चैलेंज ये था कि जिस तरह से लोगों को टाइप करना उनके साथ, और ऐसी ऐसी लोकेशंस पे गए हैं कि सोच भी नहीं सकते कि एक मूवी देखी है जामतारा और दूसरा ये रियल चीज़ देखी है. तो बहुत.
Would you call this an eye opener for you, even as a lensman yourself?
या ऑफ कोर्स मतलब टफ था ये सब चीज़ें देखना मेरे लिए, मतलब नया था ये सब चीज़ें. और लोगों की परेशानियां जैसे मैंने बताया आपको कि शुरू से देखते आए हैं, ये एकदम से अलग था कि किसी के 2 करोड़, हो सकता है हमारी किसी फैमिली के साथ भी ये सब हुआ हो, लेकिन जाके उनको मिलना, उनकी परेशानियां देखना बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज था.
Ji. Mayanka is also with us. Mayanka, as a producer, from a producer's point of view, I believe that there is this element of a live raid which has been captured on camera, and that will be extremely interesting to see for our viewers. As a producer, what were the thoughts that crossed your mind when you were looking at all of this footage?
You know, to begin with, both Saurabh and Ashwini had worked so hard, and my first challenge was to not let them down and do justice to their footage and their story. So that's one. And then Saurabh did warn me that, look, there's a lot of footage and I don't have the heart to cut it. So now it's all yours. So like you said, the raid was very, very interesting.
300 minutes of footage.
300 minutes
I just
of
cut
footage.
it to 30 minutes, huh?
To 30 minutes. And the raid was very exciting. So was the part on the scammers. They've never spoken. I mean, no one's been able to get them on camera so far. So it was very challenging to cut all that footage. And, you know, we didn't want to put everything together. We wanted to intercut it so the story is tight and gripping. So, like the first night I couldn't sleep. I saw all the footage and I was thinking what all I'll keep. But next day we got the ball rolling, and touch wood, everyone hopefully will like
with
it.
the footage cutting. She's been very lethal.
Well, that's a producer's job, you know.
I was holding my heart like this, and you don't cut it, and she from 300 minutes to 30 minutes we have shot, and the thing is that everyone has watched Jamtara on OTT. In our documentary, we have all the characters, and characters are real. Their victims were fictitious, the scammers were fictitious, the minister was fictitious, everybody was fictitious. In our documentary, we have all the characters but real scammers, real victims. We have spoken with, I think FBI has spoken for the first time, a team of
that is
FBI.
interesting. Would you like to tell us a little more about it?
Absolutely, yes, more than
You know, because this affects not just life of Indians, but even internationally it is bringing disrepute to the country. And
we are international Jamtara. We have to accept it. From India, scammers have duped more than 45,000 Americans in last 1 year. And that is why a team of FBI is in India, and they are trying to nab these people. They have made their profiles, and believe me, people have died due to suicide in America and in India, especially sextortion. You will just receive a call from your phone, your father, my father is not very much aware, acquainted of all these things, and as soon as they receive the call, a video call, a woman will come and start removing her clothes, and then you cut it in 5 seconds. They'll record your screen, and then they'll start blackmailing you, and then they'll not stop. You'll say, I won't pay you money. Then they will act, they'll become a police officer. Say, I'm calling so and so from Cyber Cell Delhi Police. We have received a video of yours and you have sexually exploited a woman. And then they'll call you from YouTube, and from YouTube we have received a video of yours, and they'll suck you dry. That is the end portion of our documentary. They suck you dry. And people have lost everything, fees of their children, their medical money they have saved for their own people. In fact, recently, union minister was, they tried to sextort a union minister, Prahlad Joshi. And the scammers were arrested, but if they can dupe a union minister, they can dupe anyone for that matter. So it's a Jamtara, but our characters are real. It's a real story. And the biggest thing was, we have not used any voiceovers. So there are parallel stories going with no voiceovers. at
Very
all.
interesting.
No
Very
voiceovers.
interesting. So this would, Mayanka, this will be like a story narrating itself.
Absolutely. It's very interesting and compelling storytelling. Well, one really hopes everyone likes it. And yes, like Saurabh said, there's no voiceover at all. Like one thing leads to another.
Do you feel the intention now is to spread consumer awareness? Jago grahak, jago.
Absolutely.
Know that this is for real.
Ironically, while we were editing this, I would get 2-3 calls every day while editing this docu.
And the
So
biggest
that's the extent of
the biggest thing Mayanka and Ashwini and I encountered to get these victims on camera. We have got spoken to more than 200-300 victims. Easily we have got in touch with them, but they were not ready to come out and speak. And they were in guilt that they have been scammed. Out of shame, they were not ready to speak, especially people, sextortion victims. People have died due to suicide. To get a sextortion victim, I have to speak with more than 70 victims, and somehow somebody from Aligarh, a senior elderly uncle, got agreed. I have to call him my home. I have taken him to my home, my house. I fed him and then spoken to him, and it took me.
I mean, it's hard for people to open up.
Yeah. People are scared because they think that they'll lose their loved ones, and they are afraid that they were there, because people don't believe it, that you have spoken to someone and someone scammed you and they've taken everything from you, all your savings. And people, and a lady, especially American lady, we have spoken to an American victim. She is in America, and she is saying that she has to live with the shame of it.
That's terrible. Imagine for them
And
to
it is
see.
happening while we are talking, Sanket. Somebody is being duped. Not somebody. Thousands of people are being duped. Right now, while we speak.
and it's very obvious for you to relate to this, because I'm sure you too must have got that SMS or that message from someone or that call from someone.
ये चाहेंगे कि ये एक अवेयरनेस के लिए बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है। सब कुछ मतलब रियल है इसमें। और जैसे एक ने बोला है कि पढ़े लिखे लोग ज़्यादा इसमें बेवकूफ़ बनते हैं, उनसे ज़्यादा लूटा जाता है। नॉर्मल आदमी के पास तो पैसा नहीं है, लेकिन पढ़े लिखे ज़्यादा इसमें बेवकूफ़ बनते हैं। तो ये एक बहुत अच्छा मैसेज है सबके लिए। सब जितना है लोग देखें इसको, अच्छी चीज़ है ये देखने के
When we
लिए।
spoke with these scammers, they were so bloody smart people. They are smarter than a IIM MBA person. Much smarter than that. You ask them, they don't have shame.
Imagine all of this is happening in the backyard of Delhi. No.
Yes. Backyard of Delhi, I think 15% of cybercrime from Nuh, 15% from Mathura, almost 18% from Bharatpur. So I think 35% from cybercrime, it is happening from our NCR, near NCR, I think 500-kilometer periphery of Delhi. Delhi is a major center. Noida is a center. Today only Noida police has busted a racket. They have arrested more than 50 of them. They were duping Americans from Noida. And we are duping the whole world. We are scamming the whole world. There's no, and that is why, and the biggest thing, when we spoke with scammers, and we are sitting in field, and their houses are like, you can't imagine, they are duping an American sitting on a field, on a paddy field, and they are calling American and saying, can you give me, what is your identity number? Is this that? And they have that accent. I cannot develop it. Mayanka, can you develop it? That accent?
I can, but they were devoid of any kind of emotion. I don't know what they do with their conscience, but if I may dare say, they are very focused and devoid of any emotion.
Apparently, Mayanka was very impressed with them.
Well, I guess this will lead to a lot of awareness, hopefully. And thank you so much, team inside OTP Mafia, Nuh To New York. It'll be interesting to get our viewer feedback also on your effort. Congratulations.
Thank you.
आरबीआई के पास हर दिन का एक अनऑफिशियल जो डेटा है मेरे पास 10 करोड़ का क्लेम आता है हर दिन का, जो 300 करोड़ रुपए महीना है, जो करीब 3,500-4,000 करोड़ रुपए साल का क्लेम है आरबीआई के पास जो आ रहा है। और ये अपने आप में बता रहा है कि ये आंकड़ा यदि आप स्केल करें इसको तो लाख करोड़ तक भी हो सकता है।
So this documentary exists with the intention to create consumer awareness. It's a big menace, and we are trying to fix this. We are showing this documentary to a series of law enforcement officers, members of the government, on how an active or a good solution can be found. I have with me my colleague Saurabh Shukla. Saurabh, if you would like to introduce.
Yes, absolutely. Hail from here, Prashant Gautam. He is the DCP Cyber Crime of Delhi Police, handling these cases every day, raiding a lot of these people who are duping Americans and Indian as well. Varun, and they both are very important part of our documentary.
The documentary.
Yes. Varun Singla is IPS officer, Haryana Police. He was SP Nuh, and they carried out one of the massive raid of our country with more than 5,000 cops, and they have arrested more than 100, and that process is still on. Sir Rohit Singh, sir is Secretary Consumer Affairs, and that's why we are making our documentary. ये documentary बना रहे हैं, and Mamta Singh ji, ADGP Haryana Police Law and Order, she is handling, and in fact जो अभी दंगे भी हुए नूह में, she was there, and नूह में जो riots हुए संकेत, interestingly उन्होंने जो साइबर क्राइम थाना था वो जला दिया, because वो चूंकि नूह एक बहुत बड़ा हब है साइबर क्राइम।
रेड में जो एविडेंस बटोरा होगा उसको जलाने की कोशिश की क्रिमिनल।
She was there all this while handling the situation.
मैम, सबसे पहले आप ही से शुरू करते हैं, ये कितनी बड़ी चुनौती और कितना बड़ा चैलेंज है?
Cyber crime.
जी।
I think as far as investigating from police officers' point of view, I think this is the biggest challenge for us, because unlike traditional crime where we have imprints, we have evidences, it's easy to diagnose and reach up to the culprit. Cyber crime, and especially with the advancement of technology, the challenges which we have, because it's a trans-border crime. It's actually a big challenge for us. It's very serious issue.
तार जुड़ा हुआ है, मतलब आप ये सोचिए वो ड्यूप सिर्फ यहीं नहीं, वो न्यूयॉर्क में भी कर रहे हैं, विदेशों में भी कर रहे हैं, यहीं से बैठे बैठे कर रहे हैं, तो इसको डिटेक्ट करना कितनी बड़ी चुनौती है एक लॉ एनफोर्समेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से।
मैं वही उसी बात पे आ रही हूँ कि क्योंकि इसमें तार से तार जुड़े हुए हैं, लेकिन आपकी जो बाउंड्रीज को क्रिमिनल तो क्रॉस कर रहा है, लेकिन हमारे जब अपने इंडिपेंडेंट लेजिस्लेशन आते हैं, हर एक कंट्री के अपने रूल्स रेगुलेशन है, एक्सेस होना, सीजर, सर्च, अरेस्ट सारा कुछ करना होता है। उससे पहले सबसे बड़ी बात है कि वहाँ तक पहुँचना ही मुश्किल है, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट यूजिंग द लोकल नॉर्मल काइंड ऑफ लैंडलाइंस। आपका ये तो नहीं कि आपने सीडीआर निकाला पहुँच गए, आपका जो है वॉइस ओवर इंटरनेट कॉल्स हो रही हैं, ई साइफर यूज हो रहा है। सो डिटेक्टिंग एंड देन रीचिंग अप टू द कल्प्रिट इटसेल्फ इज अ बिग चैलेंज फॉर अस।
रोहित जी, from a consumer affairs point of view, from a consumer awareness point of view, this, would you agree, is one of the biggest challenges that we are facing? I mean, I'm sure if I were to ask you, you would have also received such fictitious messages.
So you're right. I think the awareness, which is more on the preventive side, I think the police has to do the job after the crime is committed. But I think we are more focused on how to make the consumer more aware so that he does not fall into the trap. And I also want to focus on something which is not, a crime, but there are, these softer, unfair practices which may result into a cyber crime. For example, dark patterns. You go to a site and the site is taking you to unintended consequences. You are being asked to subscribe things which you don't want to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you want to get out of the subscription, you cannot get out. So we call them dark patterns, and we are just issuing guidelines. We are engaged with the industry, all these Amazons, Flipkarts and Google and everyone there. And now we are issuing guidelines as to how not to take consumers for a ride through these dark patterns. And mind you, these are big businesses, they are not criminals. But the consequences that a consumer is facing is resulting into loss of money, loss of privacy and many other issues. So our department is very serious and focused on how to make the more consumer aware and how to prevent this from happening. More on the preventive side. Right.
सिंगला जी, आप एसपी नूह थे जब ये रेड हुई थी, जो कि इस डॉक्यूमेंट्री का भी हिस्सा है। बिल्कुल। मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं कि आपका अनुभव क्या था उस रेड में, क्योंकि बहुत बड़ी रेड थी, जैसे कि इस डॉक्यूमेंट्री में दिखेगा लोगों को जब वो ये देखेंगे। उसके बाद जैसे कि अभी सौरभ बता रहे थे कि ये इन क्रिमिनल्स ने, इनके हौसले इतने बुलंद थे कि इन्होंने साइबर थाना ही जला दिया कि वो एविडेंस ही ना बचे। सबसे पहली बात तो मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि कितना एविडेंस बचा है, कितना जल गया है, वन। और दूसरी चीज़, ये अनुभव किस तरीके का था और आपको लगता है कि ये एक डर पैदा करेगा इन साइबर क्रिमिनल्स में?
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो मैं ये स्पष्ट करूंगा कि ये जो साइबर थाने पे जो अटैक किया, कोशिश की थी, लेकिन हमारे बहादुर जो जवान हैं, उन्होंने 8 लोगों ने पूरी 1000 की जो भीड़ थी उसको उन्होंने अपने फायरिंग की, उन्होंने हर तरीके की अपनी टेक्निक, अपनी ड्रिल को यूज़ किया और थाने को आँच नहीं आने दी। थाने की दीवार तक ढह गई थी, लेकिन उसके बाद थाने में सब कुछ सुरक्षित है और बिल्कुल बहादुरी का काम किया है और वो बिल्कुल अप्रिसिएशन के और उनके जो करेज के लिए, उनकी बहादुरी की भी हमने तारीफ भी की है और उनको निश्चित तौर पर रिवार्ड भी मिलना चाहिए। जहाँ तक बात है कि हौसले बुलंद नहीं कहूँगा मैं तो ये कहूँगा कि ये खतरा था। जिस प्रकार से हरियाणा पुलिस ने जिस प्रकार से शिकंजा कसा साइबर क्राइम पे, तो यह उसकी एक तरीके से अपने गुस्से को जाहिर करना था क्रिमिनल्स के द्वारा, जो उन्होंने साइबर क्राइम थाने को टारगेट किया। तो ये हौसले बुलंद नहीं कहूँगा मैं, यह उनकी दूसरी तरह की सोच थी कि वो उनका फ्रस्ट्रेशन थी कि वो कुछ नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, जो पहले वो फ्रीली काम कर पा रहे थे वो नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। और जहाँ तक बात है इस रेड को कंडक्ट करने की, इसको प्लान करने में हमें कम महीनों की प्रैक्टिस, इसमें महीनों की हमारी टाइम लगा। लॉजिस्टिकली सीक्रेसी मेंटेन करना, 5000 कर्मियों को एक साथ लेकर और उनकी प्लानिंग करके उनको एक साथ रेड कंडक्ट करवाना, ये अभूतपूर्व एक्सपीरियंस था और इससे पहले कभी हुआ नहीं था। तो हमारे लिए भी ये पहली बार ही हम कर रहे थे और हम कर भी रहे थे और सीख भी रहे थे। सीनियर ऑफिसर्स हमारे मैम हमारे साथ लगातार कंटिन्यूस सपोर्ट कर रही थी। हमारे डीजीपी सर श्री पी.के. अग्रवाल जी लगातार हमें मोटिवेट कर रहे थे, हमारे मुख्यमंत्री, हमारे गृह मंत्री। तो इन सभी की मोटिवेशन से, सभी रिसोर्सेज से, सभी ऑफिसर्स की कमांड से, गाइडलाइन से, एसटीएफ के जो हेड हैं डीआईजी सिमरदीप सर, उनकी काफ़ी गाइडेंस रही इसके अंदर। उसके साथ हम ये करने में कामयाब हुए हैं और बहुत ही अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस भी रहा और बहुत अच्छी कामयाबी मिली है हरियाणा पुलिस को। और एक मिसाल के रूप में ये कायम हुआ है कि आगे अन्य जो हॉटस्पॉट्स हैं उसके ऊपर भी इसी प्रकार की कार्रवाई अगर निरंतर चलती रहेगी तो किसी भी जगह को सेफ हेवन नहीं बन पाएगा।
आपको लगता है मैम ये एक नज़ीर साबित होगी, ये जिस तरीके की एक रेड ये हुई है नूह में, जिसको कैप्चर भी किया है डॉक्यूमेंट्री ने, आपको लगता है आगे चल के और स्टेट्स में भी और एक नेशनल लेवल पर एक कोऑर्डिनेशन इस तरीके का होगा जहां पुलिस आपस में बात करती ही होंगी लेकिन प्रशासन और गंभीरता से एक दूसरे से बात करेगा, स्पेशली साइबर फ्रॉड को लेकर?
मैं बिल्कुल आपकी इस बात से सहमत हूँ। इनफैक्ट ये जो रेड हुई है, इस रेड के बाद मेरे ही कई जो कोलीग्स हैं अलग अलग स्टेट के, उनसे मेरी बातचीत हुई। खासतौर पर मैं इसमें राजस्थान के जो पुलिस ऑफिसर्स हैं, क्योंकि अगर आप देखें तो मेवात का क्षेत्र सिर्फ हरियाणा में सीमित नहीं है। मेवात का क्षेत्र में आपका थोड़ा यूपी का पोर्शन भी आता है और काफी हद तक भरतपुर और ये जो
साइबर फ्रॉड इन जगहों पर भी हो रहा है।
तो मेवात जो है ये तीनों, और ये साइबर फ्रॉड का जो हब है वो हब सिर्फ हरियाणा वाला नूह नहीं है, जो राजस्थान का भरतपुर और जो यूपी का कुछ पोर्शन है। तो ये इनफैक्ट मुझे तो लगता है कि हमने जैसे किया है इससे मोटिवेट होकर एक जॉइंट ऑपरेशन, और ऑलरेडी मेरी इन टर्म्स पे मेरे कुलीग से बात हुई है जो मेरे काउंटर पार्ट राजस्थान में है, कि हमें एक इनफैक्ट हरियाणा और यूपी और राजस्थान पुलिस को एक जॉइंट ऑपरेशन आने वाले टाइम में करना चाहिए, ताकि अगर एक जगह पे प्रेशर है तो वो क्रॉस बॉर्डर, वही बात है ना, उनको फायदा होता है क्रॉसिंग द बॉर्डर्स एंड देन दे आर इन सेफ हेवन। क्योंकि यूपी, राजस्थान और हरियाणा पुलिस में गैप जो आएगा उसका वो एडवांटेज हमेशा लेते हैं। सो ये जो है मोटिवेट कर रहा है लोगों को। आई थिंक इन फ्यूचर वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग सम बिग such kind of operation, but of course with after joining the hand with neighboring state officials.
Correct. दिल्ली पुलिस में और साइबर क्राइम को लेकर के व्हाट इज योर एक्सपीरियंस बिन?
किसी भी साइबर क्राइम में आप कोई भी साइबर क्राइम उठा के देख लीजिए, उसमें जो इनिशिएट होती है कोई चीज़, वो इनिशिएट होती है सिम कार्ड से। आई मीन उसको इंटरनेट यूज़ करना ही पड़ेगा किसी ना किसी तरीके से, या नॉर्मल कॉल करनी पड़ेगी। तो ही द फ्रॉड्स नीड सिम कार्ड एंड इट कल्मिनेट्स into some account, you know, into some financial
मतलब किसी बैंक अकाउंट में जाएगा
या किसी यूपीआई अकाउंट में जाएगा, मतलब इट एंड्स देयर। तो दीज आर द टू थिंग्स जो अभी जिसको हमको बहुत रेगुलेट करने की ज़रूरत है। इसी पुलिस नॉर्मली डील्स विद टू थिंग्स, वैसे तो अदरवाइज पुलिस डील्स विद मेनी थिंग्स, but two things definitely they deal with, that is, one is crime, another is law and order. Now the crime, what is crime? Crime, something takes place, you know, incident is reported, then what do? Police Police only backtracks it, you know, and connects the dot and finally reaches to the accused. तो ऐसा करना होता है। अगर आपकी डायरेक्शन ठीक है किसी भी क्राइम के अंदर, अगर आपकी डायरेक्शन ठीक है तो ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि वो क्राइम खुले ना। सिमिलरली साइबर क्राइम के अंदर भी यही चीज़ है कि आपको जस्ट बैक ट्रैक करनी होती हैं चीज़ें। अब इशू साइबर क्राइम के अंदर जो सबसे बड़ा इशू आ रहा है वो इशू ये है कि इट सीज नो बाउंड्रीज, इट सीज नो बॉर्डर्स, इट सीज नथिंग। तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि आपका कॉल कहीं से चलकर कहीं एंड हो रहा है, या फिर आपका पैसा
कोऑर्डिनेशन उतना ही अच्छा होना चाहिए।
इशू इज डाटा। सी पुलिस डज नॉट होल्ड दोज डाटा। तो इशू इज इन रियल टाइम वी शुड गेट दैट डाटा। उसमें बहुत इशू है, बिकॉज कई बार कुछ कंपनीज ऐसी होती है जिनके पास वो डाटा है, वो विदेश की कंपनीज हैं, फॉरेन कंपनीज हैं, तो उनसे वो डाटा लेना, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ प्रोटोकॉल।
आई थिंक लेट्स होप ये डॉक्यूमेंट्री देख करके और लोग भी जागरूक होंगे और सरकार से भी ये उम्मीद रखेंगे कि ये कोऑर्डिनेशन को बेहतर करें, क्योंकि डेफिनेटली दिस इज समथिंग विच अफेक्ट्स you, me, him and everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.